Many pirates have been discussing the seas recently, from not enjoying it to outright slating it all over Twitter, and whilst a lot of people feel this is the end, I'm here to talk about and shed some light on the whole situation. Who am I though? I am Captain Daddy, and if you've heard my name, you know I've been struggling with these thoughts too, changing my main channel from Sea of Thieves to art content, hence this being the new channel, and attempting to leave the seas behind. But whilst taking some time away, I noticed a lot, so strap in for this adventure, and don't worry, there will be some PvP, as long as you like and subscribe. After a short stay on land over the last couple of weeks, I decided to get back on the seas, and rather than pushing for tasks outside of my skill range, like the dreaded hourglass, I made the choice to just set sail on some Order of Souls voyages, something to pass the time while singing some shanties and remembering how to sail solo. Doing this reminded me of how much fun you can have, just sailing and manning the ship, a nice break from the real world, and an adventure slicing through and taking on the many skeletons of the island, completing bounties and retrieving the skulls of my enemies. But seeing how rocky my naval was just sailing over here, I decided to head back out and take on some of the mighty ghost fleets. Once again I sailed through, taking aim and firing at the spectral ships, whilst honestly sailing worse than I ever have done before. I was oversteering, flying past them and into their broadside, and worst of all, crashing into land and having to turn around completely. But the longer this fight went on, the more I was getting my bearings, slowing down, approaching with them in my cannon line, and hitting my shots, meaning before long, this ghost fleet was defeated, and I was collecting my rewards. This was why I started sailing the seas, and why I continued to do so. Just the fun of sailing calmly before gaining treasure to board my ship and take back and sell. Not from trying to do fancy challenges or silly ideas, but just being a pirate and sailing the Sea of Thieves. But before selling, I headed out for another ghost fleet just to prove my skills. And once this was complete, I spotted my old favourite, the Ashen Wind. Now this is one small problem I have. From Ashen Winds feeling like big events, taking on this epic boss by any means whilst making sure that no other ship sailed up on you, I defeated Old Horatio in less than 3.5 minutes. No real worry of anybody else sailing up, and no real challenge to face against. I know a lot of people's complaints are just about how easy the world events are, and one solution I have for this is maybe making the world events have a difficulty level. Maybe the Ashen Wind is more of a tornado for a simple fight, and slightly burning for a medium fight, but players looking for a real challenge when they see a blazing tornado in the distance would know, not only would they have a good fight, but once completed they will be granted with a hoard of treasure much greater than the other two. But these events should be very hard to complete, to really challenge those players. But if you hadn't noticed, whilst fighting the Ashen Lord, I was now looking up at a Fort of the Damned, and I had not seen one of these for a while. But carrying all of my loot over, I knew I needed to sell first, so off I headed to Port Merrick to make my pockets heavier. There was a slight issue however, as once I had finished, the skull was down. But with the Reaper's chest on board, I knew they had to go to the hideout, and as luck would have it, I made it there first, leaving my ship behind the island and hiding behind the table. I waited a while, and there was nothing. However, to my surprise, my ship must have been hidden well, as one of the pirates waltzed in with his bounty in hand, as I threw blunders at his face and stole their treasure like a true pirate. I quickly moved across and as a barrel, hid in plain sight, knowing I would get spotted instantly. Only, they didn't. They walked straight in looking for me, and walked straight past me. However, after waiting a while longer, they did not come back. So as I was resting, sitting on the hand of Flameheart Jr., they once again ran straight past me, basically standing on my head, and didn't notice me at all.
Dude, they jumped straight past me!
Sadly, that was the last I saw of those pirates, but that is what I love about the seas. The fun, the adventures, the calmness when needed, and the laughs you have with these encounters, and so much more. I believe too many people are focused on the world changing around them, new things to be created instantly and everything to be to their liking. However, ask yourself, why are you sailing? What makes you enjoy your experience here? And if you were to forget about all of those commendations, silly tasks and challenges, and just be a pirate, find and steal some booty and go off on adventures, would you enjoy it again and feel that love? But if you enjoyed this, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and like the video, and we will see you in the next tale. Arrgh!